My biggest compliment is somebody looks at a piece of mine, it's like, I feel like I'm here. I feel like I've been there. It doesn't matter if they've ever been to wherever the source material was from. To have somebody say, you have brought me to this place with you, that's that compliment. That's what I'm looking for, is that moment of that connection. My name is Trevor Swanson, and my medium is mixed media. I'm an oil painter. What I'm doing here at the celebration is mainly presenting my work that is done on pieces of metal. So it's a patina process that I do to a piece of metal, and that creates this interesting color and movement and background. Then I seal that off, and then I can do the oil painting then on top of there. So basically what I'm doing is I'm creating this interesting colorful canvas made out of metal, and then mixing my other media, the oil paint, on top of that. So really, I think technically it is kind of a mixed media because it's two different processes kind of smashed together to create this interesting product. Not until my 20s, because I was struggling in school. I was taking the same math class over and over, having a great time doing art, but it wasn't just something that I never really thought that I would pursue it. But I also come from a whole background of artists. My great-grandfather was a painter. My dad, my uncle, and a cousin were all painters. So it was something that was always there, but it just never even dawned on me that maybe this is something I should pursue. I think most people in my family knew that this was going to be what I would end up doing. Just the amount of drawings and notes from teachers. It's like, hey, great painting, Trevor, but let's focus on the subject at hand. All those type of things, my parents definitely knew that this is where I was going. You know, they let me be free to kind of choose and see what other paths were out there for me. I was a scuba instructor for a while and just loved it. But there was a hard way to make a living and was taking me away from family and people. So kind of came back to art. I found that first sale of a painting, somebody wanted to spend their money on something I created. There's an immense joy that goes along with that, and I was hooked. Early on, both my dad and my uncle came to art through the things that they loved. My uncle was a socioeconomic studies, and so he loved Native Americans and their story. And so when he started to paint them, it just clicked. That was his subject. These are his people. He learned their stories, he learned their families. And my dad was a taxidermist for a long time. And so he loved animals. He loved Africa specifically. And so that was always his passion. One of the things that I love is just the outdoors, just nature. I'm just as happy seeing a chipmunk or a squirrel or a bull moose. There's moments of magic like that a lot of times it all happens when you're out there, it's peaceful, the world has gone away, and you see these moments of beauty. But that's one of the things they told me early on, is find a subject that you're passionate about, and you will never struggle to find things to paint. It's not gonna be, what am I gonna do next? It's a line of things that are waiting for me to get to, that there's something always there. Places like that give you peace. So as I'm sharing these different experiences, like this career has allowed me to do all kinds of traveling, be all kinds of interesting places. And I get to see these things that's all I want to do is like, here's this beautiful tree. Here's the way the sun was lighting up the mountains as this bear was walking down. So it's all me just kind of sharing stories of places I've been, things I've seen through art is really what it comes down to. I've gotten a lot more comfortable with color, because I'd never realized how many different color combinations and things that would be effective uses of color together, because I really base my whole palette and all the colors that I use are very much based in nature. It's like if it's a tube of paint that you wouldn't find in nature, I won't use it. So like all these different things that work with the patinas, it's very earthy, very natural. It's watercolor, it's sky color, it's earth color. And those combinations just kind of come together organically on the metal. And so it has opened all these doors up here to suddenly say, it's like, oh, okay, these colors would actually work well together. And so my traditional work on canvas has changed and grown alongside what I'm doing with the patina, is just exploring these different colors. And so much of the patina is kind of out of my control. So it's not like I'm really forcing it and trying to make these colors work together. It just happens naturally on the metal with that acid interaction. So it's like, here's this presentation, like, here are these colors that actually work well together that I would never have thought of putting together in the before times. Making those notes, taking that photo, you just capture that moment. In a weird way, I do kind of pretend my eyes are the camera. It's like, take a long blink, and that helps to kind of seed it into your mind, think about that. It's like, what was beautiful about that moment? What is it that I want to share? Is it the whole scene? Is it the light on the bear? Is it the grass? Is it how the wind was moving? Because a lot of what I'm doing is telling different stories. And sometimes it's just goofy things. Like I have a quail painting that the true name of the painting should be that the time that I slid down that gravel side of the rock and scared all these quail, because they jumped and they went into this bush and just sat there looking at me and like, what the heck's that guy doing? But it turned out to be this beautiful painting as I'm sitting there on my butt and scratched up from the gravel, but oh, this is the painting right here. You know, you just happen to be at that moment and aware enough to see it, take note, and then go forwards with it from there. And like, that's a lot of what I've done over the years, is just train myself to remember this moment. What is it about this moment that is going to work its way back into a painting, whether it's a light or a flower or a rock? My biggest compliment is somebody looks at a piece of mine, it's like, I feel like I'm here. I feel like I've been there. It doesn't matter if they've ever been to wherever the source material was from. To have somebody say, you have brought me to this place with you, that's that compliment. That's what I'm looking for, is that moment of that connection. Like, yeah, I'm here. It still just gives me the chills. And someone's like, I don't know what that is, but it's beautiful. And I feel like I'm right there with you, seeing this, experiencing this. It's like, that was the greatest moment. I love the beginning and the end. It's an interesting one because it's like you've got all this potential. It's like you've got this clean, bare piece of metal in front of you, or a white canvas that's just like waiting for all this stuff to happen. And there's something about that potential that is there. It's like, what's this going to be? What's it going to be? And then once you delve into it, I kind of go into, you know, that third gear. I'm just coasting, doing it, working my way through, going through all the issues and, you know, making sure all the pieces come together. But you're seeing it for the pieces instead of as a whole. And so it's like you start here, you can see the whole picture, and then you delve into it, take it all apart, and then recreate all that imagery with paint, like again, like building a puzzle. And then all of a sudden at the very end, you lean back and just look at it and think, okay, how did it work? And it's like, there's always a surprise too. It's like, oh, I didn't see that was gonna work. But it's like at that moment, then it all comes full circle. So those two things have such an interesting balance. It's like, well, the end of the piece and the beginning. So we see all the potential and feel it all come together the way it's supposed to. The people. You know, I really enjoy the family that I've built here. These are some of my best friends now in life. You know, and there's something about it that's like, you've got this core group of people that are here that bring the spirit and this energy and the giving, the sharing of information, the challenging to each other. The clients are fantastic. The people that come through are looking for that joy. They want to be here. They're excited about it. But so much of it is the group of artists, the people that run the show. It's just, there's something about it that really is. It's become a family. There's such an interesting, again, the word connection here with people, because it's like, it's our tribe of misfits and we all fit together.